Hi everyone, it's your girl Bic again today, and we are going to talk about content marketing and how to come up with ideas to talk about and tell your story. I've got Holly Cardamone here today from Blue51, and she can help
how to come up with ideas to share for your social media and your email marketing. And
yes, great. So how do you come up with ideas to share for your social media marketing?
Well, as you know, anyone who has a business usually goes into business because they're really good at what they do, and that's what they want to do. They either, if they're a dentist, they want their hands in people's mouths doing things. If they're a hairdresser, they want to be there cutting hair. If they're an accountant, they want to be doing whatever accountants do.
Yes.
But a big part of small business is marketing, obviously, and communications. And we all need to have a presence online, so that's social media, it's your website, you could be blogging, you could be doing videos through your social media channels. Of course, LinkedIn's in there in all its glory, but a lot of people often have troubles coming up with the idea of what they can say about what they can do. And
especially with social media, you've got to be on all the time,
you do have to be on all the time. What the pressure point for me, I suppose, from a communications and a branding perspective is you don't want to just be talking about anything and everything, what you had for lunch, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So content like that can be really, really cool for a behind the scenes strategy for something like Instagram stories.
Unless you're running a restaurant or a
cafe. Exactly. But is it relevant to our accountant friend? Probably not. So in terms of coming up with the ideas, a step back to that is actually, what is it that you need to share about people, and why are you actually putting content out there in the first place? So obviously it's to share your expertise. It might be to position yourself as the leader in your field. It could be showcasing your difference to other people in your industry. So a way of getting good ideas out of that is some good old-fashioned brainstorming. And I know you're an artist, so you probably love scribbling on big bits of paper too, like I do. And so coming up with the ideas for what to write about something that doesn't really come difficult to me, but I do it all day, every day.
Yes.
And every now and then I can't say that inspiration's dripping from the ceiling. Some things are really boring.
Yeah, that's right.
And not to take any disrespect away from anyone, but some things are really, really hard to make sound exciting and sexy.
That's right, yes.
But for me, when that happens, I have some writing prompts that I dig out, and I've been dragging these around for nearly 30 years. So these are some key questions that I might use to get my own thinking happening. And I find them really, really powerful.
Right, yes.
So it's things like...
so you physically write it down in a book?
I scribble in book. I like post-it notes. That's probably my favourite because you can scribble them, move them around.
Yep.
Storyboards. Exactly. Mind maps. They're probably my favourite. So that's when you put the concept in a central in a central circle.
Yeah.
Have ideas coming off that. And if it's one concept such as even your service, if you put one of your favourite services in that central place in the mind map and then come off that, so it might be you might be a website developer. What's part of that? Okay, obviously something like that would be a contact page. How to craft a really good contact page that people respond to. Landing pages. You want to talk about the anatomy of a good home page. What are the essentials that need to be on that? And as I'm saying that, you can see how all these ideas are just flowing from this one article. Yeah. So I think mind mapping is a really, really powerful process.
Yeah. And you've got to keep it a little bit personal too, though. I mean, as we just talked about off camera before, social media network is not very dissimilar from a real life network. You don't want to just go on there and just promote,
Yes.
do you?
No.
You need to give value.
That's right. So giving value there's a way, to combine giving value with sharing your expertise. If you've got a tip up your sleeve, like me with my beautiful writing prompts, I love them. You don't have to struggle through coming up with ideas of what to write about. Here's a simple strategy that you can implement to make this pain point easier. I'm sure you've got others as well. So if you can share your expertise, don't give away slabs upon slabs of your intellectual property. Only what you're comfortable with, but be helpful, and people really respond to people who are helpful.
Yes. And inspiring.
That's right.
Yeah.
Energetic and exciting and fun and
what did you don't want to be what did you call it, an energy vampire?
I wouldn't. How dare you suggest I'd say such a thing?
I love that word.
But yes,
I love that word, energy vampire. I'm going to reuse that.
Of all the things to quote me on.
Love it, because it's actually, really, it hits the point. If you were helping my business to create content for my social media, what advice would you give me, knowing that I'm an artist and I've got a card business?
Okay. Obviously, the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I see your beautiful artwork in those cafes up and down Ashburton in High Street, I always want to know the story behind each and every individual piece. I wouldn't expect you to tell me the ins and outs of each one, but why did you choose that colour to go with this specific image? Why have you put that frame around that one? So I'm someone who's very interested in the thoughts processes behind something.
Yes, sure.
And I love the way you interplay, like something quite natural and organic with something man-made put through it.
Yep.
So for me, I'd be asking about your process. So, and that's something that people are really interested in. So here's the end product, but how did you get to this point?
Yeah.
I'd
so
love
the background
exactly your early sketches. I think they're always fascinating.
Yeah.
And you probably know what response gets best.
And people love background stories. They love behind the scenes, don't they? Because I guess with Instagram and Facebook, it's been, let's show our best part. This is our best part. This is our best lives. We've got this perfect life, and I think people don't buy into that anymore.
Oh, look, I think people are too savvy and too cynical. Sorry, we've got a bird at the window. I think you're right, and no one, everyone. No, I hope people are aware that there's, very much a showreel of the best. And I think that's why Instagram stories is such a really powerful medium, because it does show the behind the scenes.
Authenticity.
And it's a lot more authentic. A lot of people have very curated grids. Personally, I don't. Can't be bothered.
Yes.
And I know that works for a lot of businesses, but I find it just too overly beautiful.
Yeah.
And I like a bit
perfect.
of I like a bit of rawness.
Curated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like a bit of the raw, a bit of the more more spontaneous.
The real.
But within a strategy, within a plan.
No, I mean, you don't want to come across too unprofessional.
Exactly.
But you want to come across real.
Yeah.
Because people buy things from people.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't buy. Life is not about this monochrome colours and grids on Instagram. If I can take anything home out of this, what would be the most important point?
Look, my most important point, and something I stress again and again, is don't wait for the muse to strike, because the muse will never strike. There's no such thing. So go and get some strategies. So writer's prompts, as I said, is something really, really good. Take yourself away from your day-to-day environment. I find that's something that's really good when the ideas aren't always flowing. If I get away from my desk, go for a walk.
Do something out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
No?
No, absolutely. I'm a bit of a wuss like that. But go for a walk, that's safe. But yes, anything that's sort of taking your mind off it, get out that big sheet of paper, no lines or anything, and scribble. Like, I'm not artistic or visual in the slightest, but I love looking at people who are creative visually and being inspired by that and asking questions about their work, which could then inform your own questions about your own work.
Yeah, and business don't have to be boring.
No.
No, we talked about, even the accounting business or the engineering business. I mean, there's always interesting stories behind businesses. And having done all these interviews, I'm always finding new interesting things. And it's not about the business, it's about people's thought process.
Yeah. And people's motivations and, and again...
background stories.
Exactly. Always goes back to story.
Thank you so much, Holly, for this chat.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And I'll put Holly's details again in the description section so you can connect with her on social media and on her website. Thanks so much.